even an Israeli attack against the Iranian nuclear program would be supported in the Arab world.
President Obama calls Ambassador Bolton, says, I want 3 ways to neutralize Iran. Maybe a 3-step process. What would you lay out to him?
Well, the first would be a U.S. preemptive attack against the Iranian nuclear weapons program. There's no doubt about it. We have the capability unambiguously to stop the program. I think the Israelis can stop it, but I think we could do it a lot better. If he's not willing to do that, and I don't think he would be, then I think our fallback position should be to support the Israelis if they make a decision. If the Israelis attack, we're going to get blamed for it anyway, so we might as well help them out. And failing that, I think you're going to see Iran with nuclear weapons. Now, I think one thing that's important to understand that the Obama administration manifestly does not understand is that even an Israeli attack against the Iranian nuclear program would be supported in the Arab world. It would be supported by the Arab states of the Persian Gulf region. It would be supported by Egypt and others who don't want Iran to have nuclear weapons any more than the Israelis do. They're not going to say that publicly, and they know they can't do anything to stop it. But they would privately welcome an Israeli attack on Iran. They have their own issues with Israel. That isn't going to change. But they would feel much better if the United States had a more long-term visible presence in their region, not withdrawing from Iraq, not withdrawing from Afghanistan, and if the Iranian terrorist and nuclear threats were removed.
Americans are war fatigued. We have 2 wars going on in the Middle East. If we were to attack Iran, what would be the dynamics in Afghanistan, in Iraq, Pakistan? How would it affect Americans' national psyche? But more importantly, could we handle a 3rd war?
Well, it's not going to be a 3rd war, whether we do it or whether the Israelis do it. What I'm talking about is an attack strictly limited to the Iranian nuclear facilities, the enrichment facility at Natanz, the conversion facility at Esfahan, the heavy water production facility in Iraq, ARAK, and perhaps a couple of other limited sites. It's not a ground invasion or anything like it. What would be the effect? I think the effect would be across the region to say, thank goodness the United States is dealing with this threat. But I think when countries there and really around the world look at the Obama administration, they see the contemporary version of George McGovern saying, come home America, withdrawing from Iraq regardless of the strategic situation on the ground, withdrawing from Afghanistan beginning in the summer of 2011, whether or not we've achieved our strategic objectives. It would be difficult. That's what presidential leadership is all about. Instead, you have a president who barely defends what's been accomplished in Iraq, who barely can conceal his unease with the ongoing conflict in Afghanistan, a president who sees external challenges to the United States as a diversion from what he wants to do, which is restructure our domestic healthcare system, restructure our financial system, restructure our energy system, restructure much of American life. That's a real failure of Obama leadership. And so we don't have a president who's actively explaining to the American people what these threats to our national interests are. And so it's no surprise that support for the war in Afghanistan, for example, is decreasing. The president's not making the case for it, except when his back is absolutely pushed to the wall. I think this ongoing, growing threat worldwide of the proliferation of nuclear weapons is something the American people instinctively would appreciate has to be dealt with. I think that's even now why opinion polls show support for an American military option against Iran, or support for Israel if they were to undertake it. If we had a president who was actually exerting leadership, I think it would be even more dramatically in support of that kind of activity.